Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality.
Welcome to the concept series for a Mario 64 sequel. Today, we will talk about small details that I would like to see added if a sequel were being made. First off, one of the best things about Mario 64, comparing it to Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy, is how fast the winning animation is. In Mario 64, you get the star, say a little catchphrase, and jump out of the painting, all within just a few seconds. Mario and Sunshine and Mario Galaxy sadly do not go through the winning animation as quickly. Both of their winning animations just drag on and on. It really slows down the pace of the game if you're trying to play it quickly. I also think there should be very few one-ups in these worlds. That's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to the newer Mario games. They offer you so many one-ups that it just makes the game sickeningly easy. I mean, just look at New Super Mario Bros. 2. While I find this a great game, getting a game over in this game is almost impossible. I'll take that back. It is impossible unless you physically, purposely kill yourself over and over again. They offer you so many coins, and while I understand that was the point of this game, it's just like, it's so easy. Why is it so easy? Now, I would want this concept of a Mario 64 sequel to be so difficult that you do see the game over screen occasionally. Now, this game should have multiple control options. Now, that might sound obvious, but listen to what I really mean by that. In Mario 64, running and walking was both done on the joystick. In Mario 64 DS, running couldn't be accomplished unless you also held down a button. We should be able to choose if we prefer the running method between Mario 64 and Mario 64 DS, because I know people have different preferences and prefer different types of playstyle. In terms of what controllers we should be able to use, we should be able to use the gamepad, which includes like actually being able to play on the screen too, the GameCube controller, the Classic controller, and the Classic Controller Pro. Now, throughout all the castles, there should be a numerous amount of ways to enter worlds instead of just jumping through paintings all the time. The mod Super Mario 64 Star Road did a fantastic job showcasing different ways to access the worlds. Some of those methods were jumping into a pot or climbing up a chandelier. What if there was a room where an entire floor worked like a treadmill? Your character can only run in place in this room, and the only way you can actually move around is to jump from spot to spot. Now, in the middle of this room, there is an outline of a star, and to get to that world, you have to run in place while on top of that star. And once you get enough speed from that, the star will teleport you to the world. In Mario 64 DS, certain colored bunnies would show up in specific parts of the castle depending on who you played as. That's pretty cool, and I'd like to see that concept applied here too. When you catch the bunnies, again, they should also unlock minigames like they did in Mario 64 DS. I also think that each castle should have a secret Toadette. If you talk to Toadette, she will give you an option of 2 boxes. One box will give you a life, and the other box will kill you.
So long, Bowser.
However, instead of finding Toadette and Rosalina's secret castle, you instead find Toadsworth. Toadsworth will offer to race you around the castle for a free star. There are certain checkpoints that you have to collect, and if you miss any of them, you don't get the star and you have to try again. In terms of DLC, there really isn't too much I could think of adding, but perhaps additional costumes for each character, and maybe even a brand new world or two would be a really cool addition. Since there's multiple castles to travel through, there should be 2 ways to go from castle to castle. One would be to simply click a button from a menu screen, but another would be to complete a simple flying minigame, where you launch yourself into the sky with the wing cap and fly through clouds to collect coins, and maybe even the occasional one-up, which would be rare to see. This would make for a fantastic reference of the vine levels found in the 2D Mario games. Now, you should have access to both options, in case you either want to try your shot at getting a one-up, or if you just want to hurry on and get to the next castle. For the file select screen, your picture that's representing your save file should be the face of the character that you had last played as. I also think that when you're going back to your game, it should highlight the last 2 stars that you completed, kind of like what Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green did. This could be quite beneficial for a player if he hadn't played the game in a while and forgot what he had done last. Now, this feature should also have the ability to be turned off in case players have played through the game multiple times and don't want to go through all that. In a previous part, one of the made-up castles that I talk about is the Master's Dark Lair. Once you collect all the stars from his lair, you can then find the fire cap outside his lair. Now, instead of using your fireballs to get around, you can now go back inside his lair with the fire cap and light up all the candles and even maybe some fireplaces that are hanging around. Once you have lit up everything, a very special bunny will appear, and if you catch it, you get a star. Peach's castle should still have a backyard like it does in the original game, but this time you can actually get to the backyard through the front front of the castle. The castle now has a fence to prevent people from just hopping over to the backyard. That won't be a problem, of course, once you unlock a cannon that can allow you access to hop over the fence. Or so you'd think. This cannon actually wouldn't be able to shoot you over the fence, but there is a crack on the fence where you can use your own body weight to smash your way through it, but you have to use the cannon and launch yourself into it. And also keep in mind, you have to use Wario or Bowser to be heavy enough to get through this crack. The other characters would be a little too lightweight. I know that sounds pretty cryptic, but hey, this is a Mario game. Mario games are supposed to be filled with secrets. Well, I can't believe how many miscellaneous concepts I thought of. I hope you all have enjoyed this incredibly in-depth series. I sure had a ton of fun thinking of ideas and sharing them with you, but now that this is over, what concept series is next, guys? Leave a comment below and tell me. I'll respond to as many of you as I can. Thanks for watching, guys and girls. You're the best.